in winter. So if you're a typical home, most homes have about enough roof space to meet 100% of their needs on an annual basis. That means a bunch of extra power in the summer, not quite enough power in winter. But you bank those credits in the summer months and then use them up through the rest of the year to be 100% solar powered. And just a nice view of the completed job. If you don't have a sunny roof, or maybe you have a whole lot of power needs and you have some sunny piece of lawn, we installed ground mounts as well. So pre-installation, we had a good exposure here, trees around, but more to the north and to the south. And then, as before, put together a design, got the sun eye measurements to find out just what that kilowatt hour production would be from that exact location. How many panels you need once our guys had analyzed the electric bills, what's the annual consumption, how will we hit that. We designed a system here. You see 3 stages of the install. The earth screws there on the left go about 7 feet underground. They can go through ledge, you name it. They will secure your ground-mounted solar array, trench that pipe so we can deliver those electrons to your panel in your home and convert that power from DC to AC, and then install the system there in your yard. We do trackers as well, those nifty dual access, following the seasons, following the time of day. But these generally, the fixed ground mounts are generally a higher value, less maintenance and so on. So ground mounts are another common option. And then there you can see the finished product. A quick overview of the pricing. So part of the value of Solarize, the logic of it is that for us as a solar company, we've got to cover our costs, we've got to pay for materials and keep the lights on. When we can come into a community through this competitive selection process and be able to do more work in a shorter period of time, we can share those bulk discounts with the community. And so the Solarize committee here in town has come up with a tiering process where the more people go solar, the deeper the discounts. And because we are confident that with good folks here tonight and others in the community, there will be an opportunity to do more work, we can cut our costs significantly. The base price for solar systems will be $2.90 per watt. For a typical home, if you're like me, we've got 32 panels on my east and west roof. Not as productive as I'd like. If it was south facing, we wouldn't need as many panels. But for a typical home of 7 to 10 kilowatts or 25 to 30 panels, that would come to a little over $20,000. That's the upfront cash price. Fortunately, through the end of this year, you can take 30% off the top of that price with the federal ITC, the investment tax credit. A dollar for dollar credit off of your taxes. So that typical system, starting a little over 20 grand, depending on your scale, your amount of usage, will come down as a net cost to you of about $14,000, give or take. Fortunately, there is 100% financing available. We work with Mosaic, say hi to Barrett over there. And it's great to see a good local bank, Bar Harbor, also providing financing. A lot of folks don't have the capital sitting around. Who does? But they can trade their electric bill for a solar loan payment. No money down. Instead of sending that $150, $200 to Eversource every month, you can send that money to your solar loan, pay that down over typically 10 years or thereabouts, and thereafter you'll have a couple of decades of free power. The warranties were mentioned. All these panels come with a 25-year to 27-year production warranty. That means for the REC panels that we'll be installing for the system, they have to be producing at least 86% of their day one output when they're first installed 25 years later. And if they're underperforming, you call us up, and it's on us to get the panel replaced through REC, and we'll get the new one installed. A little bit more to follow, but we're very excited that there will be a matching donation for each system installed, and we look forward to partnering with the local nonprofit as we've done in other communities. Thank you. So that $290 per watt is the base price. Obviously, a more complicated roof, a ground mount that get put onto that $290 base price. But that is, again, how we get to the ballpark $20,000 for a typical system. Thanks for correcting me. The process is pretty simple. You can sign up here tonight. You can talk to our colleague Oliver right over there. But Oliver's our intake specialist. Call that number, email Oliver, and he will get you set up with Eric or Tom or Jeff to do a free home evaluation. They'll come out, they can talk more about what they do, but over a couple of hours, they'll take all those measurements, find out just what your solar potential is, analyze your electric bill. If you've got 12 months of bills, even better. Although usually we can get the data off a single recent bill for your last year's consumption. And they'll put together the proposal for you. Speaking of those guys, here we go. They've worked throughout this region. I mentioned we've done 85 or so installs in the Monadnock area and hope to do, of course, many more through this process. But I think you'll enjoy getting to know our designers. And then once you've gotten your contract, you've vetted, you've had all your questions answered, they will pass you over to Megan, who will get the operations process started. These are complex systems. They all need to be permitted. They go through a utility interconnection application process. We don't want you to worry about becoming a solar professional. You've got busy lives to lead, so that's on us. When you say you're ready to go, Megan gets all that paperwork going. Our colleague Sue gets the permitting package going. Our other engineers in-house do your final designs and CAD and get your permit package all set. We will bother you to sign a couple of things. You can e-sign, don't worry, no paper you have to worry with. Although if you prefer paper, we'll do that too. But Megan is your point of contact through that typically 14 to 16 week process. That's our install queue. It's a busy business. But through that process, we'll get it permitted, we'll get the utility application done, we'll apply for your state rebate on your behalf. And then in that time, Ryan and Gene will come out to your roof to do a more extensive technical site evaluation. He'll be crawling up through the attic, he'll be up on the roof, finding out exactly where those panels will go, exactly how we'll interconnect them to your panel, your electric panel, and be able to finalize that permit package in the form construction engineering docs. That pretty much rounds it out until, of course, the big day. 3 of our installers. I mentioned 250 co-owners. That includes all the guys and gals who are actually up on the roofs building the systems. We take pride in knowing that from soup to nuts, we're all part of one family. We do this all in-house, no subcontracted work. And I think you'll enjoy meeting the team who are out literally 12 months a year, including on the coldest days of the year, to install our solar project. And that could be you. I think that covers it, but I'd love to open up now for questions, unless there's any more formal presenting we need to be doing, or should we open it right up?
There's a couple more things to just mention before we do that, if that's okay.
Absolutely.